Hello and welcome. My name is David Karofsky, and I am a consultant with the Family Business Consulting Group. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Elyssa and Jeff Kotzen of the JW Lopes family business, located actually right here in Boston. They are a fourth generation family business, and they have done some unbelievable things in the recent weeks, given the challenges that we're all under. They've completely shifted their business, and I wanted to talk to them today about what a great opportunity that has created. Before I do that, I want to set the stage a little bit about family businesses. Some of you out there may know about family businesses, and some of you may not as much. I'll guarantee you either are in a family business, or you're friendly with somebody that's in a family business, or you've driven by a truck that somebody is in a family business, at least in the last 24 to 48 hours. They are everywhere in our country. In fact, family businesses represent over 50% of our nation's GDP, and over 50% of employment comes from family businesses. So they are everywhere. And they are being as impacted as much as anybody else, given the current situation with the coronavirus. And so I thought it would be fun to take some time and actually have some positive news out there. We're surrounded by some of the negativity, and I think it's an opportunity for us to go, well, what are we doing differently? And how is that cool? And how can we make it scalable? And really just sharing some of the successes that are out there. One of the really cool things about JW Lopes that I have found is they are a fourth generation family business. And if you know anything again about the stats of family businesses, it's unbelievably rare. Only about a third of family businesses will successfully make it through a second generation. About 10 to 12% of those make it to a third generation. And less than 3% of family businesses actually make it to a fourth generation. So I got to say, Jeff and your family and Elyssa and your family, you guys are in some very, very special company right now, being a fourth generation family business. I think it's an awesome story. So welcome. And I'd like to just start off by first of all, thanking you for being here with me and being able to celebrate this pretty cool opportunity. And Jeff, I'll start off with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the history of the family business and how you got to where you are?
Well, first, thank you, David, for having us.
Absolutely.
So in the late 1800s, my great-grandfather, Abe Kotzen, came from Lithuania, immigrant to the United States, worked as a fruit peddler in New York, worked his way up in Boston in the Faneuil Hall Marketplace, got his own business. That business evolved. My grandfather, Herb Kotzen, took over the business. And ultimately, my father and his two brothers took over the business. That business lasted 3 generations. And in 2006, my dad and myself pivoted into a new arena in the produce business. We went from a direct to retail concept to a direct to food service. Okay. So our business, which was originally selling to supermarkets and grocers, now is a direct to food service. So our business became selling to prisons, hospitals, restaurants, schools. Yep. And that's where we are now. And up until a month ago, that's what we had been doing. The business has been relatively successful. We have a pretty decent life. And, that all changed during this pandemic. And it was about a month ago where our business really started to transition.
So I want to talk about that. One of the things that I have found in the families that I work with and just in family businesses is in history is that to be a sustainable family business, to make it to that fourth generation, we have to constantly be reinventing ourselves. That the chances are that the first generation business and that fourth generation family business are not doing the same thing. And you've clearly reinvented yourselves a couple of times already in your family's history. But tell us a little bit now, and Elyssa, I think you have a really cool story behind this as well. And I want to understand your background as well, because you're new to the family, not new to the family, but certainly new to the family business. Yeah. So how have you guys reinvented yourselves in the last few weeks to really make sure you're sustaining the family business? I think it's an awesome story.
Thanks. So it was just over 3 weeks ago, and my husband and I try to get some time into ourselves, do a yoga class once a week. And it was the week that we got a phone call from our kids' school that we had to pick up our daughters, and the school was closing in the middle of the school day because there was a parent who was diagnosed with COVID-19. And Jeff had already been seeing kind of the downturn of his business, and the people had been ordering less, his customers have been ordering less, and it just, it just really started going from bad to worse. And he's worked so hard for the past 15 years growing JW Lopes as a wholesaler, direct to restaurants and cafeterias, institutional business, and it really kind of in the blink of an eye, like, evaporated. And so I turned to him on my mat before the lights went down, and I said, after this class, we're going home and we're doing home deliveries, because this is it. We have mouths to feed, and we have a family, a young family at that. And I panicked. I work part-time for a family foundation in Boston. I've never worked for JW Lopes in my life. Jeff and I always joked about when I would be working in the business with him side by side.
Yep.
And I hate to call it an opportunity, but we've been learning so much in the short amount of time that we've pivoted into this new world of direct to consumer. And it's been really exciting and really rewarding. And we've been met with so much enthusiasm and gratitude from the customers that we've met and reached along this journey. I call it a journey. Again, it's 3 weeks, and I want to highlight the power of, I know we'll talk about it, social media and networking. And we couldn't do what we're doing, and we can't do what we're doing without a little bit of faith in everybody that we do have this really good foundation that has been built over 4 generations at that.
And how our family has really stepped up. I mean,
Yes.
my mom, who's not involved in the business, is helping us in the back end. My sister, who is in the business, she's working 13, 14-hour days. Her husband, who's in finance, is helping us out. Right down the family tree, everyone has really jumped in to do whatever they can to help us out.
Yeah, I assume that traditionally you distributed to restaurants and institutions, let's call it that. And so the distribution model is very different than when you go straight to retail or straight to consumer. Probably smaller packages, higher volume in some ways. So your logistics had a shift as well. Is that right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, the one positive thing is our trucks are still on the road every day, because we do have assisted living. We have some prison business that's still active. So our logistic network is very strong.
Okay.
So we're still delivering produce every day. So our drivers are still on the road. And what we were able to do after we laid some guys off, we were able to take them right back on.
That's awesome.
Because this additional business. So we had 12 drivers, and we laid off a few of them, but we got everyone back working now, which is something that we're really proud of.
That's fabulous. Let's talk about the power of the social network. I didn't know you 2 weeks ago. Although we're kind of in the similar worlds, and Boston's a small city, I didn't know you. And all of a sudden, a friend of ours, we were saying, what do we do? Do we go online? Do we keep going to Whole Foods? How do we keep ourselves safe? And a friend of ours had told us about you guys. And next thing we know, we're ordering food from you, which is fabulous, by the way. It's absolutely the highest quality produce that we've seen. It's really delicious. And we have this conversation, but what's been the ramp up? I mean, you went from 0 to how many customers are you distributing to? Families are you distributing to now?
Yeah, so we are just under 1,000 registered customers who have logins. We have been, every day we get about 20 more than the day before it. So yesterday we had about 117 people that we had to get into our system. We try to turn around logins within 24 hours because we know, we don't want anybody to feel anxious or insecure about getting access to what they need for their families. And so it's been 0 to 100. And we had, I had one email after that yoga class. We came home and I sent one email to my network of my community that I knew, the kids, the parents of the kids to my in their school. and our various social circles. And then I started dabbling in Instagram and in Facebook, and I posted on the JW Lopes Facebook page, and then I shared it to my Facebook page, and then other people shared it. And
there's these boards, right? These boards are starting to pop up. These community.
So the first week was really important because we could get, people's images and people's experience with the service. So once our first week went out, we delivered our first week of products to those probably 200 or 300 customers at that time. We had put a note in the box, obviously thanking everybody for trusting us and for going out on a limb and reaching out to a company that they probably had never heard of before. They've seen our trucks on the road going to restaurants in their neighborhood. But it was in that letter where I asked, feedback, shoot it to my email address, post it to Instagram. This is our Instagram name. Post it to Facebook, and it spread like wildfire, and the reposts and the excitement around it. And quite frankly, everyone is on their devices now because everyone's home. So
everyone's looking for solutions.
What started though as a box of produce. We've met our customers' needs. It started off, hey, what else can you give us other than produce, right? So we started off our first week as produce. Our second week, we added a local fisherman, his fish to our box.
Okay.
Third week, we have local partnerships with meat companies, cheese companies, bakeries.
So you're expanding your own network and increasing your own distribution channel.
Exactly. So what we're trying to do is provide our clients with a one-stop shop. So you don't have to leave the house during this pandemic. We can give you the finest local ingredients from local stores, markets, farmers, and bring that right to your door. All in one.
I think it's great. You're also, if you look at it from both ends, one, you're providing an invaluable service to us, the end user, but you're also, look what you're doing for all these other partnerships that may have otherwise not been able to get access or not been able to have the sales and volume because they may be traditionally going to restaurants. Now all of a sudden you're opening up their channel to the user, to the end user as well. So you're helping these other family businesses.
So just to add on to that, we're working with companies who are in a similar position, like Red's Best Fish. I mean, he sells to restaurants, and that business is done. So now we can give a little business to come to us. OMG Bakery we're working with, which is local in Framingham. Same situation with him. Savinor's Market, same, his wholesale business, there's nothing left. So we're able to kind of work with these local partnerships and ultimately all help each other.
By the way, I'll bet money that most of these are family businesses.
Definitely.
Okay, that is great. What else are you doing? I think before we even started, you were telling me that you guys are starting to develop an app that people can use. You're trying to make this as simple as possible. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so our software now is really geared towards our wholesale clients. So, this all started on the fly. Our current customers are using wholesale software, which, it's working, but it's not great. It's a 6 out of 10. So this past week, we've been developing an app with a good friend who's a very talented engineer to create a website that you can go on. It's very easy. Punch in your order in a much more simple.
It's much more consumer designed. It's
exactly
that we can fill out our order or what.
PR firm reached out to us, and said they'd love to help us, and we just kind of told them we're not really prepared to be spending any money now on PR, and they said, listen, we love your concept. Let us work with you, and we'll figure that out later. We'll figure out the money piece later.
Everyone's stepping up.
Everyone's stepping up. We have big things coming. We're really excited about what we're building and what we can ultimately bring to you, the consumer.
That's great. So a couple of questions, and then we'll kind of wrap it up. One, Jeff, from a business perspective, we will get through this. I mean, there is a light at the end of this tunnel. We know we're going to get through it. We don't know how long, but we know we will get through this together. Do you see this? Do you see your business model changing for the long term? Are you going to try and continue to serve this side of the market as well as continuing the wholesale, and all of a sudden you've kind of added another product to the business? What do you see kind of long term?
100%. I mean, I think what we're doing, I don't think when this pandemic stops, people are just going to go back to their old ways.
Yeah.
I think what we're providing right now is a service that's unique and that people will continue to want. So while I do want to continue with my regular business, I definitely want to focus a lot of my attention going forward on this business too, and continue to build it up.
So, I was playing with the title of what this interview is going to be, and I kind of came up with the concept of, when the world hands you lemons, change your distribution model. And it sounds like, we all got a lemon, but you guys, you changed your model. And, every challenge, I truly believe that every challenge in life has some sort of an opportunity. You just got to go find it. And you guys have done that. And I think you're going to come out on the other end, even being a stronger business than you were prior, which you were great to begin with. And it opens up the door for the 5th generation even. And so it's exciting. Would you agree with that concept?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, great. So last kind of question is, how do we get a hold of you? So I have your website. Do you mind if I throw it up and we can just take a quick look? All right, let's do that. So it looks like we go to jwlopes.com. And Elyssa, what should we do when we get here?
All you need to do is type in your email address and submit it, and we will reach back out to you as soon as possible. We're on top of all of our emails and trying to get back to everybody within 24 hours or less a lot of the time. So we look forward to hearing from you.
That's great. That's perfect. So jwlopes.com, if you get a chance and you're in kind of the greater Boston. Tell us a little bit about your geography. Where will you guys go to so the locals kind of know who can get on?
So right now our delivery area is within 495.
Okay.
The 495 belt, I'd say, but
Yep.
we are continuing weekly to expand our delivery area.
All right.
So kind of stay tuned, and we're looking to accommodate and grow.
Yeah, I bet you'll end up expanding, but definitely stay to that core for now. That's great.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add in before we wrap up?
I would just want to thank you again so much,
Oh.
David, for your support and for the support of everybody, and taking a leap of faith on this new service. Supporting local businesses is so important to the heart of, the greater Boston area, and staying Boston strong.
Yeah.
We have so much gratitude to everybody, and everybody stay healthy and safe. And we're here for you guys. We really are.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Again, this is JW Lopes. It's Elyssa and Jeff Kotzen, 4th generation family business. They have truly reinvented themselves to deal with the current state of the world. And I think it's a wonderful story, so I hope you enjoyed watching it. My name is David Karofsky. I'm with the Family Business Consulting Group. If you want to learn more about us, you can always visit us at thefbcg.com. Thanks, and have a great day, and stay safe and healthy. Bye-bye.